these are people that call October 7th a glorious day. They are carrying Hamas flags. If that is not espousing terrorist activity, I really do not know what is.
I don't like clowns.
Yeah, I get paid to be out here.
You get paid to be out here?
Yeah.
Amazing. It's just some pack.
Yeah, you really are getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, definitely. 100% I'm getting paid for this.
Do it. Well, at first he thought he would notice the pink, and then we realized his vision is so bad that it's kind of like what a dog sees. I'm not going to the state of Florida for the next 4 years. Yeah. Take that. And I have this picture of him and the vice president that I chew on when I get mad, just to let them know how I really feel.
It's coming. We're all going to wake up one morning and roll over and grab our phones, and that headline's going to be right there. It's going to happen, and I can't fucking wait. It's going to be glorious.
Listen, someone just needs to do it. Someone just needs to get it done. Someone just needs to do it. And I'm not usually pro doing it, but like someone just needs to do it. Someone needs to get it done.
President Musk, if my doggone check don't be in my account next month, you gonna need more than Homeland Security. In fact, going on 5 now, you don't need Homeland Security.
They're out of their minds.
It's terrifying. I mean, what you're seeing on TV is a good taste of it, but to see someone in front of you that's covered head to toe, you can see only their eyes. You have no idea what they're gonna do next. We can't negotiate with these people. We cannot take a middle approach. There must be a hardline approach. If you violate the rules laid out in the Student Code of Conduct, you shall face the consequences.
Semitic chaos at Columbia University prompting the White House to take action. ICE agents arresting protest leader Mahmoud Halil. His attorney says the administration is moving to cancel his green card. Maya Sulkin is a Columbia graduate. She is a reporter and assistant editor for the Free Press, and so good to see you in person.
Thank you so
his
much
attorney says ICE's arrest and detention of Mahmoud follows the U.S. government's open repression of student activism and political speech, specifically targeting students at Columbia for criticism of Israel's assault on Gaza.
I'm the victim here.
Now that's his attorney. How do you see it?
Thank you so much for having me. Listen, this is someone who has been the engine behind so much of the violence that we have seen on campus since October 7th. And so no one is telling Khalil and students like him that they cannot peacefully protest or even say things that we disagree with, but what is happening is violence, it is harassment, it is trespassing, it is causing thousands of dollars in property damage and sending public safety officers to the hospital. So we are not talking about free speech anymore, we are talking about crimes.
You graduated from Columbia, so you're very familiar with this. There is the head of the Columbia Jewish Alumni Association said every American citizen should be concerned when students are encouraging terrorist activities on U.S. soil. I agree. Was he encouraging terrorist activity? Or was he just protesting Israel?
I mean, listen, in Milbank Hall just a few days ago and in Milstein Library, 3 days ago, he was handing out flyers from the Hamas media outlet, which is not an exaggeration, literally the Hamas logo on these flyers. Wow. I mean, these are people that call October 7th a glorious day. They are carrying Hamas flags. If that is not espousing terrorist activity, I really do not know what is.
We're not talking to the president. Excuse us. Can you hear?
This is one of the most disturbing developments, but sadly entirely predictable. We are seeing some horrific footage out of Syria, religious minorities, including Christians, being tortured, being slaughtered, men, women, children. And this horror was, as I said, sadly predictable. Tulsi Gabbard was amongst those who warned us about what would occur, but there were people celebrating what happened in Syria, thinking this was going to be the dawn of some new age of democracy and human rights, when we've got Islamists in charge there. And when Islamists are in charge, minorities are slaughtered.
So this goes back at least as far as the Arab Spring, which started back in 2010, 2011, around there in Tunisia, and really all throughout the Arab world there. You had this massive conflation with many people on the neoliberal left and the neoconservative faux right. You had this massive conflation between democracy and Islamism, where you saw kind of this democratic uprising or this populist uprising, but this populist uprising was being done in the name of what? In the name of Sharia supremacy, of Islamism, of radical fundamentalist Islam there. And, you know, that's basically what happened here in Syria. I mean, Bashar al-Assad, let's not mince words. I mean, an absolute monster. I mean, a death toll of hundreds and hundreds of thousands, arguably over 1 million. An absolutely horrific person there, a total pawn of the evil Iranian regime there. And the world is better off that he's not in power. But we should not be pretending like the current guy in charge, al-Jilani, who was a peripatetic jihadist over his entire career there, former al-Qaeda there. These are bad, bad, bad people there. And frankly, at this point, they're basically just an extension of Recep Tayyip Erdogan and the increasingly radical regime in Ankara, Turkey there. So the Middle East is totally in flux, but this is obviously on a pure humanitarian level, an absolutely horrific situation there. Rita, one thing I will add briefly is that Israel right now is extending its reach into southwestern Syria, is trying to protect the Druze minority that is there in that particular part of the country there. Maybe there'll be some sort of momentum for kind of an autonomous Druze mini nation state or something. That would be a fantastic development. Frankly, it's something that the United States, I think, actually would do very well to get behind. But at a bare minimum, let's not treat these absolute jihadist thugs in Damascus like they're anything other than the thugs that they are.
Genocide, literally genocide. What's happening now in Syria is literally genocide against the minorities. The new government, ISIS government. Al-Jolani, former ISIS member, he's still ISIS. His fighters are ISIS, used to be ISIS, and they are still ISIS. Radicals, terrorists. They still hold the same mentality. They are radicals, they are not freedom fighters, they are not moderate rebels. They are carrying out a massacre, a genocide against the minorities. Villages, cities wiped out, destroyed. To this moment, till this moment, 2,500 civilians are killed. Villages wiped out, all men killed. Women, they digging graves for their husbands and kids. The stories I'm hearing, that are 100 times worse than what you see on the media. The media is showing 0.1% of the reality. Please, to the United Nations, to everyone, to the organizations, human rights, please stop this genocide. It's still going. No one is stopping them. We told you from the beginning. They are terrorists. They are radicals. They are ISIS. No one listened. Please stop this genocide. I don't know why some people are more important than others. When October the 7th happened, it was all on the mainstream media. All the world talking about it. No one talking about today, about what happened yesterday, about what's happening in Syria. Please save the minorities from these radicals, from these devils. I'm speechless, very upset, very sad. Please save.
There's a lot of persecution of Christians, and I'm really bothered by it. Your family is Arab Christian. Awful lot of Arab Christians get killed in a bunch of different countries all the time. And no one says a word about it.
Christian persecution is something really close to my heart. In fact, I just executive produced an animated short film called The 21, which came out towards the end of February on the 10th anniversary of the martyrdom of the 21 martyrs in Libya. 20 of them were Coptic Christians from Egypt, One of them was non-Christian initially from Ghana, and they just rounded up all these guys. The ISIS came and rounded them up, tried to force them to deny their faith. They're just migrant workers. They got rounded up, just captured. ISIS was like, yeah, deny your faith and we'll let you go. Don't deny it, we'll kill you. Like, oh, well, we're not going to do that, so. And they tortured them for months. Even the guy from Ghana, ISIS said to him, like, you can go, you're okay, you're not Christian, you're not one of these guys. And he's like, no, their God is my God. And so they say he converted and he died with them. At the end of the day, what people walk away with is that these guys had the opportunity to say, no, I'm not Christian, and then live. But none of them did it. They went to their graves. They wouldn't deny their faith. And so I got a chance to screen this film for the first time with the families of the martyrs 10 years later. Oh my gosh. Which was, words fail me because it was such an overwhelmingly powerful experience to be there with them. When you talk to them, full of joy. More than one of them thanked their captors because they feel, and you know, as Christians we believe this, that because they died for their faith, they got a straight shot right to the divine, right to God. They're like, we thank them because they sent them right to heaven. So the Coptic Church declared them saints. And then very recently, the Catholic Church, it's the first time it's happened, Catholic Church also considered them saints because they died for the faith.
I would in fact make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum.
The greatest threat in Europe, and I'd say it was the greatest threat in the United States until about 30 days ago, is that you've had the leaders of the West decide that they should send millions and millions of unvetted foreign migrants into their countries. That is the biggest threat to Europe. And frankly, it remains, by the way, the biggest threat to the United States because, yes, we've got 4 years of President Trump's leadership, but I guarantee you, if the Democrats ever get power again, they're going to try to do it again.
Wakey, 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 it's time for school. Come on. Wake up, it's time for school. Come on, man.
It is a messed up world.